Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to tell you a bit about a new feature in CompuTec WMS, which is support for catch weight management. This will be released in 3 phases. This is just phase 1. At the end of the video I will tell you what you can expect to see in the subsequent 2 phases. So first of all, what is catch weight management? So it's a requirement that most frequently occurs in the food and beverage industry, although sometimes businesses in the chemicals or pharmaceuticals industries might also need to use this feature. It's probably best explained using an example. So let's say we're a meat processing plant and we're dealing with pork joints. The joints arrive in our warehouse, and in our system, each joint is considered to be a unit. The thing is, in recipes and then when calculating the value of our stock, we are often interested in weight. And with joints of meat, it's actually unlikely that they will all weigh exactly the same. So catch weight management is about being able to record the number of units and the weight of the units simultaneously. So to show you how this works in CompuTec WMS, I'll just show you a quick transaction. Let's say I've received some big blocks of cheese from my supplier into my warehouse and I want to create a goods receipt document for them. I'll just select the warehouse here, the supplier, and the item. And so now I can record the goods I've received by 2 units of measure. In this case, I've got kilograms and blocks, but the units of measure are completely customizable. You can just use whatever you want. Now, for recording by weight, you can do this manually, or you can use weight scales for this. I'll show you the manual version first. Depending on the level of precision you need, you don't have to measure each block individually. For example, if I have 2 blocks which weigh 5 kilos in total, I can enter it like that. So kg 5 and blocks 2. And then the system will regard that weight, that 5 kilos, as being equally distributed throughout however many blocks I chose, so 2 in this case. So each block in the system will be recorded as weighing 2.5 kilos in this situation. Then you just press the Save button to add the items to the document. Maybe now I've got a bigger block which weighs 5 kilos, so I'll enter that, press Save. If I want to create a new batch, I'll just generate a new batch number here and then continue adding all of the received goods to the document. And then if I click here, I can see a list of all the blocks received, their batch number, their weights, and when I'm ready, I can just finish creating the goods receipt PO like so. Now, as I mentioned before, you can also use weight scales that are connected to CompuTec WMS to enter weight data. That's even easier than doing it manually. You just pop your item, in this case we have boxes, on the weight scales and then just press Save. Take that box off the scales, next one on, press Save, and keep doing that until we've weighed everything. And again, we can see all the boxes all listed here, and we can just finish creating the document now. We've also changed things up a bit in the back end so that this will work better with CompuTec labels. Previously, if you wanted CompuTec labels to print labels or barcodes for the inventory you've received, you would save the goods receipt PO, and at that point, the system would start printing the labels, which is fine if everything you want to label is exactly the same. But here we could potentially have hundreds of different items, each with a different weight. And if all the labels were printed when the goods receipt PO was saved, you'd have hundreds of different labels, and assigning them to the correct item would be a pretty onerous task and very difficult to complete without making mistakes. So now you can set up your label printing so that when you enter the weight of each unit and save it, the label for that unit will be printed straight away. You can stick it on the unit you just weighed and then move on to the next one. I can very quickly show you how that works. I'll just add a couple of items to our goods receipt, and bearing in mind that the goods receipt PO hasn't yet been added to our database, if I go over to my labels printing history, we can see that those labels have been printed. So in this current phase of catch weight management, phase 1, we support all of what I've just shown you for the transactions that you can see now on the screen. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, we will be adding new features in the next two phases. In phase 2, we're planning to support catch weight management for storage units, add some tools for analysing the packages in your warehouse, and also some features to tie catch weight management in with production activities. Then, in stage 3, there will be support for draft documents and the ability to manage changes in unit weight via a plugin. So this is for if your unit changes weight during the time it's in the warehouse, which may be the case for certain products such as cheese, which over time might become a bit lighter due to evaporation.